this computer. All right, cool. So we are all set. We are recording. I'm going to be going over a lot of general information, but I think there's going to be a lot of value here. So, let's see what happens. And if there's any questions, feel free to ask. Just going back through kind of what we talked about in the team group here. And this is some stuff, some older stuff that I put in the group earlier that I'm redropping because I know it was some people that weren't in the group at the time. And now there are some people may have passed over it. But this is one thing that I use right here. Upwork.com. Okay. Like I said, this site is great for virtual assistants to handle all different types of tasks. I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines that works for $4 an hour. I have them doing tasks like working my LinkedIn, liking and commenting on posts. I don't really like to use it for Facebook. I do all my own stuff on Facebook, but I have them sending friend requests as well, whatever type of target audience that you want to, target, right, and create that audience of friends. That's something that they can help you with. They do an array of different tasks. And it's just a matter of what you need them to do. You interview people. If you feel comfortable with what they're doing, then or having them do what you want them to do, then you move forward with hiring them. Okay. Any questions on the virtual assistant?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so this is one that I use right here, Fiverr.com. Fiverr can make those flyers for you cheap, $5 videos and things like that. But recently, I've been using Canva a lot more now, right? I did the little $15 upgrade to Canva Pro. It took me some time to learn how to use it, but I like Canva. And
yeah, I use that a lot. That's my favorite.
Yeah. I love Canva.
Yeah, Canva is dope. I mean, and especially, it takes time, but I like to do them like when I'm up late at night or something like that, and I got nothing else to do. I do some Canva pictures and stuff, and you don't have to pay for $20 or $5 or $10 per picture, so you can $15 for a month. You can do however many pictures you want to do. So Fiverr is good. Mortgage calculator. If you haven't downloaded the mortgage calculator or a mortgage calculator, I like this one with Zillow. It works really well. I'm always like right on the money when it comes to the monthly mortgage. Because when you're out and about with clients, they love to ask you, what is my monthly payment going to look like, right? And this is good for you to know because it's going to ask you the same questions that you should be asking your lender, right? What is the approximate interest rate? Lenders don't like to give interest rates. So you have to tell them, look, I just need the approximate. I know it can fluctuate, but I need it, right? So I can get an idea of where we're going to be standing when I put in my calculations, and I'm talking about mortgage, and I'll tell the client it's give or take. It's not the actual rate, okay? So
Aziz, real quick, is that something that you do prior to going out with your clients? Because I know when they send me a list of properties and the lender lets me know the estimated mortgage amount that they can afford, is that something that you do? You do the calculation and find out what the estimated mortgage would be before taking them out?
if it's, absolutely. Absolutely. If it's, especially, you'll get a sense once you get that purchase price amount, taxes, interest rate, you'll get a sense of like what's in their range, what's not in their range. And then you'll see some stuff that's like borderline. Let me punch the numbers in. That one's out of your price range, right? Okay, that one was in price range. Like, especially when you got those clients that's dealing with that tight budget, I'm always doing that because I'm not going to take a client out to see a house they can't buy. No. And
Right.
then even if it's like, okay, well, if we get the price down 20,000, it'll work. Well, you're not gonna get the price down on that house for 20,000 and ask for closing costs. No, like, no. So I'm very realistic. Go ahead, Shay.
I said, no, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I'm very realistic. I break it to them in a nice way, but I'm saying like, nah, we got to look at another house. Yeah. Um, if that house is in an area of some other houses we're going to, okay, whatever. I set up the showing. You want to see it? Maybe I see it. I like it. I'll show it to somebody else or something. I don't know. But that's about as far as I'm going with it. I'm not setting up a showing to go, but I don't say it like that, of course. I just tell them like, no, it won't fit your budget. It's out of the range. Yeah. Um, Sarah, you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I just wanna make sure. Because
Yeah, my background is a little busy, so that's why I have you on mute.
okay, no problem. But ask any questions that you might want to know. Okay. No question is the wrong question. It's better to ask than not to. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Oh, so this was for that app. It's a great app to give accurate estimates of monthly mortgage while you are at the home. And yes, Shay, yep, like you said, before you even go to the home. But I wouldn't even be at the home if I knew that this one was out of range. For those that, do flips or work with investors, this is a really cool app right here, Deal Check. And it actually it'll help you understand profit and loss for flip properties. You got those investors that they're like, yeah, I invest, and then you get to a property and they're like, well, how much you think it'll cost me to repair this? How much? Like, well, I thought you was a professional flipper, bro. But this will kind of help you to get like final numbers and what. I'm pretty good where I can pretty much do the stuff in my head, but this is a nice app right here. Okay. Deal Check. Of course, we do Op City. I highly recommend getting involved in Op City. If you don't have leads, your business is dead. I know this is a 30% fee on the back end. I'm trying to see if we can get into a few more lead programs that I know of as well. Of course, you got to have broker's permission, but I always say that's 30% on one deal, not the referral business. Referrals come from deals closed, right? Sometimes they come from people that just been watching you, of course, on your social media, but they come from deals closed is most likely. And you want to close more deals so you can get more referral business. Stop thinking about, if anyone's out there and they're thinking about this moment, this deal, stop that. Like, you're going to be in business for the next 5 to 10. Stop worrying about one deal. Start thinking about the connection of the people that's connected to them. Okay. And while we're on referrals, follow up with past clients. Make sure you all are doing that, following up with past clients. Hey, just wanted to check in with you, see how you was doing. All of your clients, and we're going to be talking about that too, all of your clients should be on your social media. Every client that you close a deal with, if they have social media, you should be friends. Okay. That's a script. I don't think we're going to talk about scripts right now. That's for agent attraction. Okay. Let's talk about, I guess we'll go to Ambria's first. Ambria took some good notes. Like, she literally types stuff out. Like, I think she types more than I can't type. I can't type at all. So this is just the basic stuff, right? You want agents to be, and look, if you know this stuff, still save it, right? Or save this video after it's recorded, because if you plan on not only producing as an agent, but building a downline of agents within the company, you want to create a layer of leaders. You want to be able to assist your agents in some type of threshold. Hey, I got a good video for that, or Aziz got a video for that, or whatever the case may be. And we're going to put this little stuff together. So yes, they can tap into the EXP trainings. Yes, they can tap into the Cohan companies trainings. Yes, they'll have our EXP team group. Yes, they'll have me as well. But there's going to be times where when you brought that person in, they're going to initially want to talk to you first. And my goal is to create these systems, these videos, things like that, for you to just be and know where to find them and constantly be putting them in the group as reminders, not only for the new agents, but so you can quickly access it and send it to them, right? And maybe you save the links or save the material somewhere in your notes section so that you have it readily available. Because if your agents are happy and they like how our systems work, they're going to want to bring on more agents. Because if you don't like how the systems work, you can be like, man, I don't even really like it here. Well, I'm gonna bring somebody else here, right? So that's going to be very important for their experience here. Because you do get, honestly, you do get people like, man, I don't like EXP. I shouldn't have went over there. I was a new agent. Well, it's probably because they came in with the wrong organization, to be honest. And then most people don't like to tap into the trainings that EXP offers. Like, did you go to the trainings that, like, we got 50 hours of live training? Did you go to it? No, I didn't. I wanted somebody to talk to me. I wanted one-on-one, but that's a live training. But no, I wanted, it's just how it is, right? So at least we're going to try to create that environment here and have EXP. Okay, so you want them to be confident. In order for them to be confident, they need the knowledge of how things work. One of my keys to success is knowing my product. So Shay or Sarah, one of you want to chime in? What do you think knowing the product means in this business?
I mean,
said, go ahead. Say, go ahead.
go ahead.
So you said knowing the product?
Yeah. As us as real estate agents, what would your idea be of knowing the product?
Of knowing everything that you can offer that client. You know,
Okay.
First finding out what their needs are. It's making you more confident, and it's making a client confident in you if you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you say knowing what you're talking about, what would that be?
So basically, like, what are the guidelines? Like, I pretty much try to know just about every role of my partner that I'm dealing with, because you want to give them a rundown in the very beginning of how it's going to be, how the transaction is going to be, how it's going to go. So it won't be any confusion. We can know if they're ready. No, and just basically, like, what are the guidelines? How much you need? Your simple FHA, you need 3.5%. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as how much, whatever the interest rates will be, of course, that will be dependent off of what the lender is. Closing costs, like, just basically knowing every integral part of the transaction and being able to articulate that and explain it to the client so they're aware, they know what they're getting into. Everybody is on the same page, and you're able to move forward and just actually guide them properly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's exactly what I was looking for. To if you want to know if you know something, explain it to someone, right? Like, if you can't explain it, you don't know it in a clear, simplistic form, right? So that is the tool right there. That's something that will separate someone working with you and not working with you, is knowing what your other business partners know. There's a lot of real estate agents that are in this business. They think all they need to know is about the house. They don't know what the lender does. They don't know what that process looks like. They don't really know what the inspector's looking for. they don't really know what an FHA appraiser is looking for. You know, they don't know what, you know, an attorney is going to do throughout the file, what the, you know, they don't really know the full steps. They think the buck stops at being just a real estate agent that opens the doors and reads the information off the MLS sheet and writes the contract. Yeah, I mean, you can get away with that, but to be able to explain that process from start to finish, you know, that's the next level. One of my tricks in the business is when I take a client out for the first time, and if they've been with another realtor and they're thinking about using that realtor, but they're not sure, if they get with me, it's a wrap. They my clients, because I showed them the house, and then I asked them one key question after we've looked at the house. We're probably standing in the living room, and I'll say, so is this your first time out? If I haven't already asked that question. And they'll say, well, no, you know, we've been out before. We went and saw a couple homes, and had another realtor showed us and all that. But they haven't really committed to anyone, right? Because they haven't been asked to commit, for one, whether that be if you're doing a buyer's agreement or you're not. It could be a verbal, right? But you're looking for the commitment, because you got to respect your own time. And Shay, actually, you did a post about, time, I think today, and knowing the value of your time. And, so that hits home. But I'll ask them a key question. Okay, has any realtor explained the process to you from the beginning to the end? And they 9 times out of 10, they look at each other and they say, no, nobody has, right? They talked about the house, but they didn't really talk about the process. And then I'll go through the process with them from start to finish and sum it up. And my spiel is like, boom, 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 boom. And I break it down, and it's clear and it's plain and they understand it. And it doesn't take me a long time. And that expresses to them that I am knowledgeable, right? So
Yeah.
go ahead, Shay.
And that ties into, and that's why it's important to make sure that you have a team, and have a solid team as well, because you know how your team members move. I know how my lender move. I know how my attorney moves. I know how my home inspector moves. So I'm able to speak to my client like, hey, you'll be getting a call from the lender within a day or within 2 days. But if I'm unfamiliar with someone's practice or how they do their business, then I really don't know what to explain or how to explain it to my clients. And I remember when I first started off, I ain't heard from the lenders. Like, oh my God. Like, so, when you have that solid team, everyone works on the same accord, and you all are trying to hit that same goal, and you know how each other move, and each person's job, or a little part of it is.
Yeah. And what I did was, when I first came into this business, I would always pick the brain of the business partner. Okay, well, what's next? And how you do this? And then what do you do in that situation? What do you think about this? Like, to the point where I can have a conversation with the lender and I can tell if they know what they're doing or if they don't. Like, it's that serious. Like, somebody tried to talk to me one day, told me they was the lender. They're giving me numbers. They're telling me stuff. They're talking about how much income they're using. And it's just like, I'm like, these numbers ain't matching up. Like, what's going on? And at one point I said, look, let me ask you a question. Are you the actual loan officer? They said, well, no, I'm the assistant. I said, I thought so. I figured something. I said, can you get me to the real actual loan officer? Because your numbers is not lining up. He said, okay. Like, that's how thorough you want to be. You don't get there from, lenders can throw numbers out there and they'll be calculating. I'm like, no, bro, it's going to be like this much a month. And they're like, well, hold on, let me check. And then they do it, you hear the typing and all that. They say, well, yeah, it's going to be, yeah, you were like $20 off. Man, I mean, I know by now, like, that's just paying attention to the business and the numbers and using that calculator and all of that. Yeah. So yeah, look, FHA loan, right? Because the question came up about down payments. FHA loan is 3.5% down. Seller can get up to 6% seller credit. Of course, Seller credit is like a kickback of money, right? It is not it's not free money. To give you an example, and this is 6% of the purchase price for seller credit. Most people don't even know they can get a seller credit. Seller credit is, let's say if a buyer wants to buy a house for $200,000, but they want $5,000 back in seller credit, right? The seller will give them that $5,000 to go towards their closing costs. It cannot go towards down payment. It goes towards closing costs, okay? Now, let's say that's $200,000. They gave $5,000 back to the buyer. The buyer will still be taking a loan for $200,000. The seller will be walking away with $195,000. Right? So when I explain that to some buyers, most buyers want the seller credit. Some buyers do not. Reason why they would not want the seller credit, because they may have the $5,000 in their pocket. They don't need to get it back from the seller. They would rather have the price at $195,000 versus $200,000 with $5K back. Reason being, they say, I don't want to pay interest on that $5,000. I have the money. It's not going to break me. I'll just focus on price reduction and bring my own money for the closing costs. Okay. A conventional loan could be 3%, it could be 5%, it just depends. Of course, on the investment is going to be more money, talking about like 20% down payment. Okay. On conventional loans, you can only do 3% seller credit. Okay. You cannot do 6% like FHA. FHA also gives higher approved amounts than conventional loans. You may have someone that's approved for a conventional loan, but they don't want the conventional loan. Why don't they want it? Because they're going to get approved for less money with the conventional loan versus the federally backed FHA loan. Okay. Investment property. And if I miss something here, you know, anybody wants to chime in, definitely let me know. Investment properties, right? You cannot go FHA on a true investment property. Now, if it's FHA, if you want to go FHA, you cannot go FHA unless it's a truly investment property. If you're going conventional on an investment property, it's a true investment, like not non-residential, not your primary residence, I should say. Okay, you're not going to be living there. It's an investment property. But let's say you're going to buy a 2 or 4 unit. It's your first property. You can go first time buyer on that FHA program. Okay, but not for a second property that's going to be an investment property, or even a first property that you say is going to be an investment property and you're not living in it. Okay. Conventional investment property, you're looking at about 20% down. On investment properties, you can do up to 2% seller credit on an investment property, conventional. Most people think, okay, I'm going to buy investment property, conventional is 3%, right? No, conventional is 3% for a primary residence. But for an investment property, it's only 2% seller credit, not 3%. Okay. Somebody asked me, what's the approximate down? Well, no, this is a typo. This should be closing costs, right? And I got to tell her to make sure she make note of that. So, you know, you're looking at about 3%. A good rule of thumb, man, what's the closing cost going to be on this deal, right? Because you got, again, you see this line right here, closing costs plus down payment equal funds to close. If you have your down payment, which is 3.5%, plus closing costs, which might be an approximate 3%, you put those together, and now you have funds to close. What do you need to bring to the closing table, right? Minus any seller credits that you get, because you may get seller credits and you may not get seller credits. So this should be approximate closing costs will be 3% of the loan amount, okay? We talked about downloading the mortgage calculators. Lenders, we want pre-approval letters. We do not want qualifications, pre-qualifications. If a lender sends you a pre-qual, send it right back. Like call them up. Look, I do not want a pre-qual. Now, some lenders, I've seen this a couple of times where their pre-approval, it says pre-qual. They've actually collected the documents, right? So what is a pre-approval? All documents have been collected. All income information, credit has been pulled. It's been run through automated underwriting, what they call AU, right? A pre-qualification is a verbal. Yeah, they might have run credit, right? And then a verbal is what their income is, but they haven't gotten any docs. Why would a lender do this? Because they just want to churn out pre-approvals. They just want to get them out the door. They just want to get them to the realtors, and they want to keep the realtors out there just working. And then you find out later that they didn't collect all documentation. You probably got a house under contract, and then a deal is falling apart midway or towards the end of the deal. And you ask the lender, what happened? Well, I was waiting on these docs, and then they never got them. Which docs? Paycheck stubs. What? You're supposed to have that up front. So do not let these lenders, and look, don't be afraid to ask your client, especially if you're dealing with a lender that you know, did you send in, so you sent in all documents, you sent in tax returns, you sent in your paycheck stubs, okay, cool. Because the lenders, sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, I got everything, and they didn't, right? Those are lenders you don't want to work with, to be honest. Once you get a pre-approval, have a conversation with your lender. Ask them, does the buyer need a seller credit? Do they need a seller credit? They may say, yeah, get one if you can get one. That's not what I asked. I'm gonna do that anyway. Do they need it? Reason being, I need to see what homes I need to be looking at, because if they absolutely need a seller credit and we can't get this deal done without it, then in certain houses that I really don't need to be focused on, I need to be focused on houses where I know I can get a lender credit. Going after the highest and best multiple offers, that's okay, it's hit or miss, especially in the market. They're coming with the FHA loan and need seller credit versus someone that's coming with a conventional and doesn't need none. Like it's gonna be a 50-50. And then you gotta, and the reason why you gotta know this is because when you're putting in deals, when you're putting in offers, you want to let the clients know ahead of time, this is a hit or miss. Don't get your hopes up, because see, these buyers will get their hopes up, and you know in your head, like the chances are slim. You don't communicate that with them. They thinking, oh, they so excited. Then you letting them down, and then they just like, a buyer mess around and give up on you. They'll think it's you, honestly. They'll think it's you. They'll think you're the reason why the deals aren't it's something you're not doing that's causing these deals not to get accepted. You're making us miss the beat. I'm telling you, that's what they will believe. But if you set their expectations, look, this is why your offers is going to be hard to get accepted, especially when we're going up against competition. Well, what do we need to be looking at? We can look at these, but we really probably need to be focused on homes that's been on the market for a week or two. Right? A little bit longer on market. Okay. Would you agree with that, Shay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. No seller credit if the market is competitive. If the market is competitive, they got to be ready to go hard. You know, what that looks like to them, it depends. What's the best you can do? Like, man, if you need 2K credit, do we really need to be going after 5? Let's just go after the 2 if that's the best you can do, right? And just so you know, like, you know, FHA and conventional, that's 2 different things. Like an FHA appraiser comes out, they're going to be a little bit more picky. They're looking for GFCI sockets, outlets to be near water, trip hazards, broken windows, peeling paint especially, right? They're looking for stuff like the soundness and safety issues versus a conventional loan. There's no telling what they will pass. I've seen some stuff get passed with conventional. I was like, dang, how'd that get passed with conventional, right? The other route of that is if you can't go conventional, maybe go with an FHA 203K, or maybe the lender will be able to do an escrow where if it's like peeling paint or something small, maybe they can work it out on with the underwriter and get that put into an escrow, money put into an escrow for those repairs after the deal closes. Peeling paint on the outside of the house, depending on weather conditions, etc. Like sometimes there can be exceptions made, right? But typically that FHA up against a conventional, they're gonna go with the conventional. If everything else is equal, price, credits, conventional is there, it's a chance they probably gonna want to go with that conventional loan. The other reason is because FHA appraisals stick for 6 months. 6 months, right, Shay?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. They stick for 6 months. So they don't want to necessarily, if they don't want that FHA appraisal to stick with them. Because if it sticks with them and the deal doesn't close, now they have to go only conventional anyway. I put 30 days on the contract. That's what I would suggest. I want to show them that we can close quickly, that we're serious about buying, unless the buyer or the seller has a reason why they don't want to do a 30-day. Absolutely not. I'm putting 30-day contracts. I don't even put 45 to keep it real, right? Send the contract to the attorney and the lender right away after being accepted. You want the attorney to have it for 5-day attorney review. You want the lender to have it so they can start processing, doing what they need to do. This is one thing that I try to do. I try to get the inspector in quick. Sometimes I can get an inspector in the next day before the earnest money is even due to be turned in. If they find anything that's a deal breaker, okay, we cancel contract and we still got earnest money. Reason being is because if I take them out the next day or 2 days or whatever, we turn the earnest money in, we do inspection, we cancel the deal. Now my earnest money is tied up. Some people don't even have that extra 1,000 at the time to really like put up another 1,000 for earnest money somewhere else. So they're waiting to get that earnest money back, right? Because you get situations, especially like this time of the year, income tax time, where people are like, I got this money coming, and then you're working based off of that, off the income tax, 401k money that needs to come, gift money that's going to be, gifted from someone. You might not want to tie up that $1,000 because then that could prevent you from getting the next one under contract, or you get the next one under contract, but you're still waiting on the earnest money. You get it under contract, but then they like, you're taking too long for the earnest money, we cancel it. So that's a little trick. If you can get that inspection in quick before you even turn that earnest money in. How do you get a reluctant client to pull the trigger? Shay, you're a veteran. You got a client that they're at a home. Maybe you showed them 2 homes, 3 homes. They like the home, but they got that, what they always do. This is the one they always like, I like the home, it's great. But what if there's another one out there? Like if we found this one, maybe there's another one out there we might miss. How do you get them to move forward?
So I always tell them there's always going to be another property that you're going to see, a better property. However, you don't want to miss your beat. And I explain to them we're in a competitive market. If this is a home that you absolutely love. So one, I don't try to like pressure them. For example, I had a client, we saw a property, it was like at nighttime. And I could tell she really liked the property. You could tell when the client likes the property because they're going to spend more time in it, right? But they're just afraid to like really pull that trigger. So I said, no pressure. What I'll do is let's schedule another showing. Let's make sure that you really want to move forward with this particular property. I want you maybe bring your aunt, bring your mama, whoever the case may be, just to have that second opinion so you can be for sure. But pretty much I find out what they're reluctant about. What is it? What's stopping them from moving forward? I talk them through that. But I always tell them that it's always going to be other properties out there. And then I tell them that, you can always add additions to your home. You can make it what you want to be. But when we put that offer in, I'm deactivating their search. I am canceling it. So you can't see no other properties. Like I do that quick as soon as we go under contract.
You
because
have to.
they're gonna see a better property.
Yeah.
But you can't.
I'm glad you brought that up too, Shay. I'm glad you brought, because I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, yeah, I do that, but at the end of the day, I just pretty much tell them like, if this is what you want to do, we got to make a move on it. We can't we can't sleep on it. You have other people that may be interested in the property. If you have that gut feeling that this is what you want, let's make the move.
Absolutely. Can I give you another one? I'm gonna drop a dime
Come
in
on,
this right here.
let
I'm gonna
me
drop a
hear it.
dime.
Write this down.
Aziz, I'm gonna give you a Aziz special.
Okay.
So I hit him with that too. But you know what? I tell him, look, let me ask you a question. Because I'm not gonna pressure nobody to buy a house for what? Then they have buyer's remorse in the middle of the deal and cancel, lose the
Right.
earnest money. Like, no. So I asked him, look, do you like the house? I said, yeah, I like the house. Is this what you're looking for? Yeah, it's everything we're pretty much what we're looking for. Just something else maybe we might find. Because sometimes the house that you take them to, the first one you take them to, might be the
Mhm.
one. Like,
Mhm.
like literally, so they like, whoa, this the first one we seen. It got,
Right.
but I tell them, look, all right, so look, let me be real with you. You got the listings that I sent you, right? Yep. These are the ones that you picked, right? Yep. You've been searching on Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, right? Search for everything else, right? Yep. Did you find anything else? Nope.
Right.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry, but it ain't really nothing else out there that you really gonna gravitate to. But let's say that it is, right? Let's just say it's something out there, right? The pictures didn't do it justice, right? I want you to remember, because remember, I already walked them through the full process when I first met them, right?
Mhm.
So I say, remember I told you about that attorney review period? They say, yeah. I said, remember I told you that under attorney review, you could cancel for any reason you chose to. It could be buyer's remorse. The sun ain't shining bright enough. You wake up and your pillow ain't cool on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you could do that? I said, yep. I said, well, look, let's get this thing started, because we still got to negotiate it, but let's get it started. Let's get in the running, at least in case there's multiple offers, right? Let's focus on getting it under contract. In between focusing on getting a contract and us moving through our attorney review period, we still got 2 days before we turn in earnest money. Let's hit the ground running. Look at any other properties that you think you might want to see. And if you find something that you like, then no questions asked, we move out of this deal into the next, right? Now, every time we put in, they never move out of the deal, because it ain't nothing else out there. This is the house that they like. It's just a matter of them moving forward with it, right? So I reassure them of the attorney review period, no pressure, no questions asked during that attorney review period. And that's how they move forward to put the contract in. Yep.
I like that one. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I give them that option. And it pretty much, and they look at each other and they say, okay, cool. Right. And they say, and you're gonna go out with us to see these properties, right? I say, you book them, we can see them all in one day, to be honest. I don't like showing, that's another thing, y'all. I don't really like showing one house at a time. I want to do a tour.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I tell my clients we're gonna make the most of the day.
Yep. Yep.
Line them up.
Yep. You have to. You have to. You got to do a tour. The other reason why you want to do a tour is because you want to do a comparison of all the houses. You want it fresh in their minds, right? While we on that topic of a tour, how do you make sure your tour is effective? How do you make sure that you gotten the best out of your tour when you're with the client, in order for them to pull the trigger at the end of that tour?
So elaborate a little bit more. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so we out showing 7 houses, right? It's only really one answer for me, but we out showing 7 houses. They compare all of these different houses. What is a key? What is a key in order for them to make a decision? I guess for them, I should say, not to be overloaded with information or, actually seeing properties. If you're going to see 7, 8, 9 in a day with one customer.
So, and I think I'm understanding correctly, but I tell them to pick like their top 3 or top 4, because I think seeing 7, 8, 9 is overwhelming. You lose thought and track of what you've seen. I have them take pictures and videos, and I have them to write out a list, whether it's them verbally stating it or just physically writing it down on the boxes that it checked of what their expectations were.
Okay.
And we just compare it.
You have them do that while you're on the tour?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
good.
Yep.
All right, I like it. And that's exactly where I was going. So if I go to house 1, first house, okay, great. And always get to the house before the client. Always go in for the first house, turn on the lights, walk around the house, know where everything is at for the first house. The rest of the houses, you guys are gonna be just going in, of course, with them, right? But always get to that first house early, be waiting and have everything, and know where everything is. But first house, you go see first house. Second house, okay, we go see second house. We're sizing the second house up compared to the first, right? Everything about it, the street, the block, the frame over brick over frame, a frame, right? Backyard, garage, interior, bedroom sizes, because house number 1 was fresh in their mind. Okay. So we're doing processes of elimination. When we finish up with house number 2, what'd you think about house number 2? They tell me what they think about house number 2. How does this stack up to house number 1? If I got to pull out my phone, well, I already got my phone out. If I got to pull up house number 1, re-showing the pictures of house number 1. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. And I'm looking at this one. Nah, you know what? House number 2 looks better. I like house number 2. House number 1 just wasn't it. Okay. House number 1 is off the list. House number 2 is the top. House number 3. Now I'm comparing house number 3 to house number 2. Right? So it's process elimination by house every time we go to the next house. Okay. It may come down to 1 or 2. They might even want to put in offers on both, to be honest. Right. But that's how we're doing process of elimination. Okay. What else I was going to say? So just comparing houses, something else I was thinking about while I was talking, I lost my thought. But yeah, process of elimination throughout the process. Okay, so let me see.
Another good thing to probably add, because I know I had to tell Embria about this to the notes, as far as when you setting the clients up on a search, an automatic search, that they're using the real time. Because I know I had to find it out the hard way when I first started. I was so embarrassed because my clients was like, well, why didn't I get this property? Like, why didn't you? They were finding properties before me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it set up on. I was like, oh, it was the most embarrassing thing. But
and you like, how they get that property? Why
right.
that property did get sent? When like I got the MLS.
Right.
I've been there. So I think I talk about that. Actually, this was the next thing we was going to. This was a video I did that I recorded, MLS and CMA tips and tricks. I kind of blow through it, kind of talking a little fast, but you can pick up. But I think that's one of the things that I talked about in this MLS CMA tricks and tips. How to, set up your map, to get to the, plot out your houses, and how to put your favorites on your favorite clients on the front page of your MLS. You got your favorites there, Shay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sarah, you got your favorites, we're talking about with the favorites?
No, I don't.
Yeah, watch this video because it's going to show you. Like, I don't know why by default the favorites are not on the home page. I don't know why. It seems like it should be, but you have to manually go in and put your favorites to your into your home page. I had so my managing broker at one point. Um, I was using his MLS. I was on his MLS for some reason or something, and I was looking. I was like, man, this system is just horrible. Like, I want to see the favorites. I don't know when people clicking on stuff. I have to actually go to their profile, and then I was like moving around, and I went to the settings or whatever. I was like, oh wow, it's a favorites box, and I put it there, but I didn't tell him I did it. So he called me. He was like, man, what'd you do to my MLS? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I got favorites and I'm seeing what everybody, keep in mind, he been in the business for like 20 years, you know? And I'm like, man, but I'm younger. I'm not too young, but I'm younger. So more technical savvy, technology savvy, right? But that just like made his whole life. But it's that important. And I don't understand why it's not a default setting. So definitely watch that video that's on YouTube. Okay. Oh, let's see. I had a correction there. Okay. So this is kind of small because I don't think I can blow this up. No, I can't blow it up. No, I can't move it. I can't blow it up. So several points. Once you've directed the potential client to your, so this is just talking about leads. Yeah, this is from Sarah. Okay, so once you directed the potential, if you got leads or people that show interest on social media, right? And they comment, they say, because this one we had a comment of somebody who was saying they was interested, right? You want to direct the client to your inbox, to your inbox, or jump in their inbox, jump in the DMs, it's money in the DMs, right? Ask for their phone number and a good time to talk, right? Hey, awesome, I see that you're interested in buying a home. What's your urgency? Like, how soon do you plan to buy, right? Oh, I want to buy pretty soon. Okay, well, look, let's talk about it. What's a good time to talk? Well, what's a good number to reach you at? I always ask for the phone number, and I give them my phone number, and then they give me their phone number. I ask them what's a good time to talk. I don't want to do a bunch of conversating back and forth. I want to get the phone number. I want to jump on a call. I want to talk to them about what they need, what the lender is going to be looking for, right? And then get them over to my lender to move forward with the process. Okay. 580 credit score can get you a home amongst some other qualifications, but really we're looking at a 580. We can go as low as a 500 credit score, but you're going to need 10% down. Most people don't have the 10% down, so they're looking at least a 580 because that's what will get you an FHA 3.5% down payment. Okay. W-2 employees, they can, two paycheck stubs, an offer letter, they can get going, right? But a part-time employee will need 2 years of work history, right? So you want to be full-time if you don't want to be on your job part-time for 2 years. Okay. Let's see, 1099, independent contractors, starting your own business or have your own business, need 2 years of tax returns. If a client filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, they can't purchase a home for 2 years. If they do want to purchase a home, it's going to be a large down payment. 1 day out of bankruptcy can be done, but it's going to be a large down payment. It could be 25, 30%. I think I've heard up to 50% in some cases. Let's see. Chapter 13, they can purchase a home after 13 months of consecutive on-time payments. If they miss a payment, it's going to start them over. So they don't want to miss a payment in the Chapter 13. Okay. And then this is what we were talking about here. This is why I put the correction at it's not for Chapter 13, is if it's 1 day fresh out of bankruptcy, is the large down payment. For down payment assistance programs, clients typically need a 640 credit score Let's talk about down payment assistance. Down payment assistance, you can get 7,500, 10,000. They got some grants and stuff like that. But, you know, with programs like IDA, Chenoa, down payment assistance programs, it's not free money. Typically comes with a higher interest rate on it, right? And typically when you have a down payment assistance program, it's almost kind of like a conventional loan. The loan amount won't be as high as a regular FHA without down payment assistance. So you might have people that get approved for down payment assistance, but they might not want to take it due to the higher interest rate that they'll be paying over time, right? Or they might not want to do the down payment assistance because, what did I just say? They might not want to do the down payment assistance because
They don't want the higher interest.
not the higher interest. Oh, the lower pre-approved amounts, because they'll get pre-approved for less money with like an IDA program. You know, they like, well, no, I need the higher amount to get the house that I want. I'm not going to do the down payment assistance. Okay. Yeah, and then we talked about how much it can cover. Okay. Anything else out there? I know there's some other programs out there as well. I won't proclaim to know all of them, but typically that's kind of how I see it go. Some people will choose to, instead of going with a down payment assistance program, the lender can give a lender credit, right? It does come with a little bit higher of an interest rate because anytime a lender gives you credits, you might as well say nothing, ain't nothing free. But when they give you a lender credit, it does take up the interest rate slightly, but it gives you some money that you can put towards your closing costs, but without it taking away from purchase power. So that's the alternate to getting some down payment assistance as a lender credit. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is going to be, I think, the last one that I'm going to talk about. Gems. So just talking about lead generation. Now we're talking about free lead generation, things that people should be doing as far as generating leads, right? You want to utilize your social media platforms, utilize your LinkedIn, utilize your Facebook. What does that mean? 5,000 friends on Facebook, right? I got 937 because my page got deleted and I had to start a new page. So I got to get back up to 5,000. LinkedIn is about 30,000 that you can have on LinkedIn. I like Instagram. Instagram is a little bit harder to get the following for myself. You may have better success with Instagram, right? How do I use my social media platforms? Money in the DMs, right? For one, who is your audience? Who should you be trying to make friends with? What does your ideal client look like, right? Whatever your ideal client looks like, I'm looking at who might be a first-time home buyer, right? What does a first-time home buyer look like? Maybe particular areas or cities or whatever, right, tend to have high rental rates, right, or rental population, right? I'm looking at those individuals as they want to buy a home. So maybe I'm looking at areas, maybe I'm looking at different Facebook groups, but I'm targeting based off of what my potential buyer looks like. And then I'm jumping into DMs, right? I'm making a selfie video, right? Saying what I do, drop, and then, introducing myself. Hey, this is Aziz Shabazz. I'm your local real estate agent. I help buyers, I help sellers. I help individuals that want to, create a portfolio by adding home ownership to that, right? To achieve the American dream. Contact me, let me know. I can help you if you have a 580 credit score, and even down as low as a 500 credit score. And if you have a poor credit score, I can help you there too. I have some business partners that help with credit restoration, right? Click on the link below to find me, and also find homes that are directly from the MLS, right? And I'm dropping my link to my website. My website is connected to my KV Core, right? So I'm jumping in the DMs and I'm introducing myself to individuals because what other realtor is doing that? I'm staying top of mind, right? We talked about this is a good one right here. Number 3, speak to other realtors in your area that may hold listings. See if you can host their open houses, especially here at EXP. We have Facebook Workplace. If you have not used your workplace, this looks like I just went to another Facebook page, right? Nope. I went to our EXP Workplace that looks like Facebook. You could actually go on the MLS, right? Find EXP listings, find who's the listing agent, find them over here in Workplace, where they're going to be more friendly to you because they see you're an EXP agent inside of their world of EXP, right? Hey, I see you got listings. Well, hey, let me introduce myself first. Hey, such and such, I see you're an EXP agent as well. Saw you have, my name is, Aziz Shabazz. I've been in business for this amount of time, or I'm a new agent coming to the area. Really like to get to, explore, expanding my business and connecting with other EXP real estate agents. How you doing today? Nice to meet you. Hey, nice to meet you as well. Great, awesome. Look, I see that you have a listing on such and such. It's been on the market for so many days. I want to help you get that. So I specialize in helping agents sell homes that's been on the market for, over a certain amount of days, right? I love to be able to talk with you about potentially advertising the property and potentially doing a open house for the property as well. You can get into properties this way, make connections with other real estate agents, potentially get into some luxury listings as well by building that relationship. So most people think about targeting buyers and sellers, but have you ever thought about targeting and prospecting, I should say prospecting, your other fellow real estate agents? This is a contact sport. We have to contact people and we have to build relationships, okay?
Real quick, since we're on listing agents, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on listing, or I should say, advertising other agents? They don't necessarily have to be within the brokerage, but their listings. And do you
Yeah,
necessarily need to, should you reach out before, or just as long as you tag them, or as
no,
long as
so
you say that it's
you know what, company policy, and it's like that for most brokerages, is that to advertise their property, you have to be within their office, right? So that's one thing right there, is like you want to check with their brokerage, and I believe EXP definitely wants it to be our brokerage or within our brokerage as well. So you want to see about that. Now I know that when it comes to like photos of homes that you've just sold, then you want to get permission from that broker to say, hey, can I, post that we just sold this home? But at that point, I'm not asking the listing agent, I'm asking my buyer, like, can I take a picture of the home and say that I just sold it? It's like the buyer's home now is just sold. Why do I need your picture? My camera phone works just as great as the,
right.
as the picture. So yeah. This is some laws around that. And yeah, you want to check with our brokerage, but also with that agent, of course, even if our brokerage allows it, yeah, you definitely want to check with them as well. Yeah, and I would get that in writing too. I would get that in writing, in an email, that is okay. Just so it's, and then the pictures, that's the other part of it too. Like when you're advertising, it's another piece to that. Does the photographer own the pictures, or does the realtor own the pictures, or does the brokerage own the pictures? You see what I'm saying? So now you might get permission from the realtor, but the photographer says they own them and they only release rights for them to use them there on that site. Or the broker, the office owns them, even though the agent gave you the permission, they might not even have the right to give you the permission. So I really like to do in-house with EXP, And
Mhm.
and what's great about it is we got over like 1,100, 1,200 agents in the state of Illinois, here in Illinois, and consistently growing. So we got a large network versus a smaller brokerage. They don't have many people that they can ask to do open houses or share listings.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But good question. Good question. That's that whole compliance piece, and us staying out of trouble. And you know, sometimes they, we're not really told about, that stuff. So that's a good question. But you know what? And I'll be completely transparent with you. How do I know this? How do I know? Because it happened to me. It happened to me. And I got contact, complete transparency. Like, man, nobody's perfect in this world. But MLS is cool. Like MRED is cool. They'll send you the little message, hey, you got a violation. I need you to do this or change this. And then you say, oh, you know what? I didn't know. Appreciate it. And then you do what they
It
actually
was
do.
something on Emirates.
Yeah, so it was well, no, that one was through, I think MRED did. It was either MRED or one of the boards or somebody. I forgot, or I don't know who contacted me. It was a while ago. And they contacted me like, hey, you can't share the listing, da 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 da. And I'm like, well, I gave credit to the person. They're like, no, you
Right.
can't, you can't do it. And so I was like, okay, my bad, I'll take it down. So but yeah, I mean, usually it doesn't turn into anything major, but you wanna kind
Just
of
double check,
cover
cover
yourself.
yourself.
Yep, absolutely. CYA, you know what they say. All right. So what else we got? Drive traffic towards your website. If someone is looking for MLS homes, tell them you have MLS homes on your website, which you do, because really most people are looking for MLS homes, but they don't even realize that Zelia, Trulia, Redfin, it all comes from the MLS, right? So hey, I got homes on the MLS. I can give you access to those homes. That like makes them feel like, okay, your website is more special, right? Only thing they won't have is like private listings. They won't have some of the features that MLS has. But you're saying I can show you the homes that are on the MLS, right? And they just like how that sounds better. So you always want to make it sound exclusive. Um, what else we got? Um, always add clients. We talked about that. Always add clients to your social media because those are going to be referrals down the line or repeat business. Utilize OpCity. We talked about utilizing OpCity. Utilize Workplace. We talked about that. Talked about 5,000 people on your Facebook. Do the selfie videos, right? Do reels, stuff like that. Post consistently, 1 to 2 times per day. I like 8 a.m. I like 6 p.m. 6 to 7 p.m. I like that range. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But I always do try to make sure I do it 8 p.m. daily. And then that's social media training. We'll do that on another video. And then one of the key tasks right here that we were talking about is create a schedule to really dig in and the schedule. People say, well, how do I create a schedule? Well, create a schedule around all the stuff that you have to do mandatory in your life, your 9 to 5 job, cooking dinner, cleaning, picking up the kids, whatever the case may be, and then look at what time you have left in the day, and then fill in the gaps with production activities, whether it's productive activities, producing activities, or whether it be self-development training, whatever the case may be. But you should always have some prospecting involved in that because without leads, you have no business, basically. So yeah, that's about it, I think, for this video. Shay, you want to add anything
Cool,
or any
cool.
questions?
No. I think you did good. You covered everything. Just
I,
about, yeah.
I ain't cover everything. It's a whole
Not
lot.
everything, but I know
We
you
covered a
you you
lot.
covered a lot. You covered a
Yeah,
lot. You definitely
yeah.
did cover a lot. So yeah, that's No, I don't want to add nothing. Nothing I can think of.
She like, I'm ready to get off the call now.
No. It's nothing I can think of. I'm trying to think.
I mean, we could go into like, lead generation and what we do as far as leads. Cause I should have had somebody drop notes the other day, but I had went into some lead generation stuff and I'll probably put something together for that. But yeah, just how to prospect. Yeah, I didn't have them drop the notes, but yeah, I guess we'll get into that. But I mean, lead generation, we'll probably get into that more, but lead generation is just what it is, right? Look, social media, jumping in DMs, talking with people, liking other people's posts and commenting on their posts so that they start seeing your posts more, right?
Yeah.
Prospecting other real estate agents to do open houses and share their stuff. Go live, right? Get out in front of houses, go live with your clients, right? Op City, it's probably a few. I mean, that's just I'm just talking about like the free stuff, right? We ain't even gotten to the paid stuff. When you do the open house, I'm not a fan of door knocking, but when you do the open house, door knock the neighborhood. Door knock the neighborhood before, right? When you're there, ask them if they're, interested in, not interested in selling their home, interested in learning what their home is worth, right? And leave a business card, right? And try to stir up a conversation, not to get through all the houses necessarily, but to find a genuine connection. Maybe you connect on Facebook. When it's time to sell, right? It's the quality of the connection, not always the quantity, right? And understanding that it's going to be a lot of people that say no, that leave you on red, but you just got to keep going when everybody says no, because you're just looking for the one yes. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I do, and I picked up 2 clients this way. I had a closing. This was in the summertime. I had a closing, and when new neighbors are moving in, everybody knows it. Everybody want to be on the porch. They want to see who's the new neighbors, who's coming in, who's going out. So on our particular closing day, what I did was I went and I introduced myself to those people who were sitting on the porch. Hey, just want to let you know you all got a new neighbor. I'm the one who helped them get this house, and I closed on the house. Like, do you know anybody? And I gave them my business cards, and I hit another neighbor on the block and picked up 2 clients that way.
Yep.
So
I picked up 2 buyers coming out of showing houses before.
Oh, okay.
I was on a tour and they literally saw me. Are you a realtor? Yes, I am. I wanted to see this house. Like, it's just about being active, right? You never know where the next deal is coming from. Supermarkets, stores, whatever. Find a reason to strike up a conversation. Like your shirt, like your hat, like your jacket.
Yeah.
Out shopping, Christmas season. Man, yeah, me too. Yep. Been super busy all day. Had a lot of homes to show. By the way, I'm a realtor. What do you do? Like, like, don't come out and say, I'm a realtor. You want to buy a house? Say, yeah, got to the mall late. Man, I had a lot of showings today. I'm a realtor, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you do? Oh, I do this and this and that. Yeah, well, look, man, here's my business card, man. You ever think about buying or selling, or somebody, remember me, the guy from the mall, shopping for, the spouse, the wife, the boyfriend, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? Wherever you're at, like, just make it cool. Make it cool, the guy you met by the ice cream shop, or I don't know, but but make it just casual conversation. But yeah, I'll do another video because
Okay.
there's like a psychology that I get into with lead gen and open houses and converting leads to like over the phone and like there's the psychology of there's psychology of social media that I get into. So I'll probably make another video for that. Else this thing will be like another hour or so. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that because I really want to, pick your brain and learn more because you're really good with the lead generation. Like, I can talk to a person and be cool, but that inbox it, like, I don't my approach sometimes is not good. So I know I
Selfie
need to
video.
improve.
Make a selfie video, Shay.
Oh,
Make a
okay.
make a selfie video. That's what I was saying before. Make a selfie video explaining who you are, what you
Mm-hmm.
do, how you can help them, buyers,
Oh, I like that.
sellers, 580 score. If it's below a 580, let me know. Get you into some credit repair. I got some connections for that, right? If you just want to shop around and look for homes, I'm gonna drop a link right here that give you access to homes on the MLS. That's what I was saying before. And you do that video and you paste that video to, not to realtors, of course, but you paste that video and you inbox that to people, and then right underneath it, you put the link to your website. And then even if they don't comment back, maybe they click on the site, captures their information, your KV Core starts prospecting it for you, right? But if nothing else, now they can put a personal touch to their relationship with you through Facebook versus them just having to scroll your page, which Facebook may be showing them your stuff or not, depending on the algorithm, because everybody doesn't see your posts. But if it's in the inbox, it's right there waiting on them. Do about 30 to 40 per platform per day so you don't get blocked for spamming.
Can you do that on LinkedIn or no?
Yep, you can do it on LinkedIn too. The videos take a little bit longer to upload on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's not as quick as Facebook. So that's the only drag about it. But yes, you can. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instagram videos, like, they got to be really short. I noticed that they can't be too long for the inbox. So, but yeah, I mean, all of these videos that especially that you be doing, make one just for the inbox to connect with people.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Have a good night, and hopefully, you and Sarah got some value and many more to come to watch the video.
Okay. Thanks, Aziz.
All right, have a good night. Bye.
You too.